Hey,
Oh,
it's only me today.
here we go. Here we
Ah,
go.
there he is.
GM guys, welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, the show where we discuss the latest cryptocurrency news so that you stay up to date in the world of Web3. It's been a bit of a rough time this last few weeks. The week started out well, and then today it's another sea of red. Block Pro, a lot of our traders are finding good opportunity in the markets right now, but also, a lot of people going, it's a bit unpredictable right now.
Yeah.
What's been your take on it? And is this week any different from the last?
No, not really. I'm having fun with it. I think with Bitcoin, it's just hard to predict at the moment of where the price will go. Like, are we going to close below 200 MA? Are we going to continue with this uptrend? I personally think it's not done yet. But I also see that in the chart, everything is getting set up to get like, oh no, guys, bear market has started.
Yeah.
No, I don't buy it at all. But it is fun to see. Seen some altcoins popping up left and right.
Yeah.
So yeah, with trading wise, just basically look at some projects and think like, maybe that's something to be in for a day, and then on to the next thing. So yeah, it's an interesting one at the moment.
No, we're definitely starting to see this divide of people saying, like you said, bear market's coming, I'm all in stables, etc. And then we've got the one saying, no, there's been no real top signal. I think we push higher. There's really now that divide of the two groups that we're seeing. Me personally, I still don't know where I stand. I'm still taking it all in day by day, and just keeping on my feet with it. I'm not really doing any long-term plays right now. I'm keeping it short. Not short as in going short. I'm keeping my plays short term. But guys, let's get straight into this. Grab your coffees. This is the GM Coffee Crypto Coffee Show. I've got a little Nescafe Gold Creamer today. I've got to keep it with the iced coffees out here.
Oh, nice.
What about yourself, Block Pro?
I'm again fixed on the double espressos, so
nice.
It keeps me alive all day.
Let's get straight into it. Let's have a quick look here. Let's make ourselves a little bit smaller so you can see as well. Also, make sure to slap a like on today's video, guys. We're going to have to speak about Asta. Asta is, here we go, $1, $1.01, well, 9 cents pretty much. So not doing too well here. People were calling for $5 Asta, even $10 Asta. And at $2, a lot of people were buying. We go on to the month here. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we can see, $2.37 up here, now down at $1. I can't see CZ letting this one slip. What's your thoughts here?
Unpredictable again. Like, the project is so new, and it did incredibly well in the first couple of days. So it has some potential to go a bit down. Nothing is a guarantee, especially not with a project like this. I do think it's a strategic move, by the way. But yeah, basically these types of projects is where the future is going towards, in my opinion. So hopefully we won't stay there too long. But on the other hand, I want to see it go a little bit lower personally, so I can scoop something up. I don't hold any. I would like to hold a little bit. So hopefully it will come down.
Where would be your ideal buying range here? It's a bit hard to go off the data that we've got.
Yeah. So yeah, I basically was thinking around 50 cents. That is where I will start to get interested in such a project. It's basically something that I've been looking into a lot more in basically buying the tokens from the decentralized exchanges. So yeah.
And then also, perhaps there will be, there's perks to holding and using the platform as well. I know you're an avid trader. Perhaps there's some good loopholes and some good passive income you can make through that, or even just savings. Let's have a quick look here. We've got Cake down as well. When you see BNB go down in price, Cake will often go down, be more volatile with that either way. So you can see here, down at $2.67. Zcash still holding strong for the day. If we go onto the week, still up 6.8% as well. $250 practically right now. Zcash is still doing well. Is it something you're trading, Block Pro?
No, it's not been on my radar whatsoever. I've seen it popping up in some high volume lists, but not that I say. Like, I've not mapped it out, not really looked at it. So no, I see here in the meantime a position of mine going up towards my TP. So
yeah,
2 seconds.
No worries. Handle that, and I'll go through the chat here as well.
You can guess the ticker. It's Zero.
Zero. Hey, there you go. I got them for you. We got Bruce here saying, "Good day, chat." Bruce, always good to see you, sir. Firewatch 999, morning all. Let us know what coffees you're drinking. If you're not coffee, you might be matcha, you might be tea, you might be just classic water and ice, or maybe no ice at all. Maybe room
some nice morning alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
You never know.
On a Sunday, you got to have a bit of whiskey in your coffee and hit the charts. Roy V, good day, sirs. Good to see you, Roy. I think we've been through this before, though. Alcohol is not the one to trade on, guys.
No, I did got challenged this weekend by some guys that said like, I was just messing around on Sunday with some charts, and it was like I said around 4, like, oh, I'm done. I'm going to celebrate the Sunday. I'm going to grab a beer, and then it was like, if you can trade like that while you're drunk, and I was like, immediately challenge accepted.
Yeah.
I will not advise it. Probably will go wrong.
100x long. We got Digitech here saying long on Co AI reversal confirmed max 2x long. Let's have a quick look on here as well. This is one that I've been completely sidelined on. I'll be honest with you.
Never heard of it. Chain Opera.
It's to be fair, it's been all over. It's been top performer recently. A lot of people have been stirring up some hype about it, but I felt completely sidelined. It went up to $25 last week. Now down at $6. So we got Digitech here is going just 2x long on that. Could be a good reversal. Does seem like a lot of hype. If that hype can withstand. On the daily, 33% is not bad though. So well done if you got in earlier on that, Digi. Fair play to you there. We'll perhaps have a look at that on TradingView in a little bit as well. We got Sammy in the chat as well. GM Sammy, let's go.
Morning.
Firewatch is drinking a Tetley tea. For anyone who's not from the UK that doesn't know what Tetley tea is, it's a classic English tea. We got Fee Capo here as well saying Wagwan. Lovely to see you, Fee. Hope you're doing well. Everyone on the island of Koh Phangan misses you, Felix. Especially down the bars. No, only kidding. So yeah, let's have a quick flick through any others that catch your eye. We got Saros here, obviously up about 10% today. Looking nice today. Imagine if you got that.
Yeah, like I said, it is like mainly in the last couple of weeks, or at least since the Bitcoin rug pull, or at least the entire rug pull on the crypto market. What you will see now is just some random projects just popping up with like 10-20% in a day, and retrace again. It's just mayhem at the moment. But yeah, just navigate it in the right way, or try to navigate it in the right way. Like I said, I just try to do daily positions and just scalping a little bit. Scalping crypto is not the best idea, but it does give some.
And why do you say scalping is not the best idea for crypto? Say perhaps compared to traditional stocks.
So if we look towards scalping, you want to have like a nice and peaceful market, and crypto is not a nice and peaceful market. You want things to go smooth. You can still predict quite a lot of things. You can still establish ranges to just range trading basically. But especially now with just if you look towards like how thin the order books are still, the chance of that you get wiped out with big positions that is quite high at the moment. But yeah, I think when it comes towards scalping, like if you look at some bigger assets, then you actually end up with quite some indexes and forex and some metals. I think when it mainly comes towards the crypto industry, that likelihood that you're better off with a 15-minute chart all the way up to a weekly chart. And on the weekly chart, you probably will be more successful than on a 15-minute chart, because that's already quite low. But yeah, I like to push the boundaries from time to time, and then say like, okay, let's try to do some scalping on the 3-minute chart. And today it's going quite well.
So to be an effective scalper in crypto, there's got to be an element of luck.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, it's just mainly in how a chart moves, and if a chart moves just kind of smooth, then there's not much to worry. But in the recent weeks, days, it just moves like a bit like chaos at the moment. But we can look at that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll pull over to TradingView shortly. We'll have a quick look at some news. If you want all the latest news, guys, head over to our platform. All the links below. So we can see here, White House advisor predicts end to US government shutdown this week. Willy Woo's next crypto bear market could be brutal amid global business cycle downturn. Shout out Willy Woo. Satoshi Nakamoto sitting on $20 billion of unrealized Bitcoin losses after market pullback. Ouch. I was going to say, should we get down into the Satoshi Nakamoto rabbit hole? But we'll save that for that could go on forever. If you guys have got any guesses, whack them into the chat though. 67% of institutional investors bullish on Bitcoin heading into 2026. Quantum computing could awaken lost Bitcoin, but at what cost? This is something that people go on and on about quantum computing. When it comes about, will it be able to crack seed phrases? Probably, but I think there will be, by the time that comes around, there will be anti-quantum computing wallets. Yes, perhaps old wallets. Maybe let's go into this article, see what it says quickly. Yes, if there's old wallets that haven't transferred, they will be at risk. Yes. Let's have a quick read here. So the TLDR, quantum computers could one day crack Bitcoin's cryptography, exposing old wallets and potentially reviving up to 3.7 million lost Bitcoin, almost 20%. The threat lies in Bitcoin's elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, vulnerable to Shor's quantum algorithm. Experts agree we're decades away from quantum machines powerful enough to break ECDSA, but developers are already preparing defenses. Yeah, here you go. So we've already got developers preparing defenses, but then also there could be exploits in those defenses as well. However, a sudden quantum breakthrough could reshape Bitcoin scarcity, raise ethical questions, and force a protocol upgrade. So it seems like we've got 10, 20 years to chill. That's one of the problems. That's just
there's still time.
Yeah, there's still time. It is something to have these debates about, have a chat about, because perhaps in 10 years, 20 years time, you could see an absolute bottom of Bitcoin. Imagine if they got into Satoshi's wallet.
Yeah. Yeah, that can. I had that conversation a while back with a mate of mine. Like, how nice would it be to just take that Satoshi wallet and just move it? Imagine the panic that would cause. Just don't sell it. Just move it.
Move. Yeah. Yeah. What would you do? I'd buy some stupid Bitcoin ordinal.
Yeah, probably.
I'd have some stupid NFT.
It's just I think that would cause a lot of panic. So
yeah,
maybe in the future we will see.
But let me know your thoughts on quantum. Maybe there's a few people in the chat that have a good understanding about quantum. Perhaps we're closer than 10, 20 years. But I'm going to kick that one down the road for now. We've got a few more cycles before then. Bhutan migrates national ID system to Ethereum, empowering 800,000 citizens. I bet the crypto bros wouldn't mind in the UK that if the national ID was on Solana or Ethereum, would they? They'd probably be like, yeah, let's go. 95% of all public company Ethereum purchases happened last quarter, and the super cycle setup. This is an interesting story. Actually, I'll click onto this one quickly. So Paxos accidentally mints, then burns $300 trillion in PayPal USD in 22 minutes. So Paxos accidentally minted and burned $300 trillion in PayPal USD within 22 minutes, calling it a technical error. Experts say the incident highlights blockchain's transparency and accountability compared to traditional banking. So let's have a quick look at the TLDR. So the stablecoin issuer called it an internal technical error, insisting no customer funds were affected. The 300 trillion figure, twice global GDP, briefly shook confidence, but also showcased blockchain's transparency advantage. Blockbro, is this just one of those times where he's just pressed 0 too many times? What's happened?
Yeah, I think someone just forgot to put a comma in somewhere. That's horrible. That's horrible.
I wish I could mint some of this PYUSD into my wallet. I'd put a few extra zeros on as well.
It's like they probably blame an intern at some point.
Interns always get the blame. We spoke on stream, didn't we, about the Jupiter Mobile one recently? Super funny. But yeah, if in doubt, blame the intern, guys. Let's have a quick look down here. So Aave pauses PYUSD trading. Traditional banks have done far worse. Yeah, true. Citigroup once accidentally credited 81 trillion to a client.
Oh, yeah.
That would be waking up to that,
yeah. You probably do need to pay it back. Like, I think if you would say, like, no, spend it all. Like,
so you can keep 10%. Another Citi staffer nearly transferred $6 billion by pasting an account number into the wrong field. Deutsche Bank once sent $28 billion to a partner in 2015 by mistake. None of these incidents were visible to the public in real time. A stark contrast to blockchain's instant accountability. It happens all the time, even in crypto. Even in the community, I always get people, especially when buying meme coins, unfortunately, they paste the address of the meme coin because they check it out on Dex Screener. And then, they think they copied their wallet address last to send funds from their exchange. And then they end up sending it to the contract address. Always happens, no matter what value of funds it is. I find even sometimes with the larger funds, people even get more complacent because they're used to doing, lots of transactions, etc. So always double check your wallet addresses when you're sending transactions, and even the contract addresses, guys. Always spend a little bit of time going over those. But I think that's all from the news. Let me just check. There's one more. Yeah, gold market cap hits record $30 trillion. Analysts say Bitcoin could be next. Let's go down to the TLDR here. So gold is now 14.5 times larger than Bitcoin's $2.1 trillion market cap, and 1.5 times larger than magnificent I can't even say it today. Magnificent 7 tech giants combined. To be honest, being 15 times smaller than gold, I think is still a huge accomplishment. Gold has been around since day dot. Humans have been possessed over gold since the day we've been around. So to be only 15 times the price of gold, I think is quite good going. Perhaps this is a top. But that's with gold's price absolutely soaring as well. I feel like you've been trading gold slightly less recently, BlockPro. I know a lot of the traders have kind of come back to crypto recently.
I still trade some gold. It's not that I spent the entire day on it. But if it comes towards my point of interest, then I do smack and position on it. Think that what is mainly just mega impressive is just the absolute run that it has done in the last couple of weeks. So we can see now here, chart on the weekly. It's literally where you say, like, what the fuck? Like, I talked about this before. Like, there is a lot of money still on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. It's now there. And if you then think like, I think we're talking about 4 or 6 trillion, somewhere in that range, that got added into that market. Absolutely insane. That money has to come from somewhere. It doesn't come even from sell-offs in the stock market. So it is basically just sideline money. Now, of course, we want to see a rotation at some point towards crypto, what would be absolutely epic. But also be aware that these industries are not even similar. I think if we look towards let me take it here. So total market cap of crypto at the moment at 3.6 trillion. Yeah, it's just not that much. And it's every time that I look at it, I think like, okay, every time that we go above that 4, we go, hooray, that's a lot of money flowing into the system. But to actually get into a proper range where you want to start, wants to see like very fast growth, you need to break 4.83 trillion. And that will probably be sideline money that will get put in the market at some point. A sell-off from gold all of a sudden towards the crypto market wouldn't make sense from an investor perspective. Because why would you buy gold last week to sell it next week to buy Bitcoin with it? So I think that there is still like a fuck ton of money somewhere hanging around to actually start supporting that crypto market a little bit more. And I have the feeling that it is probably somewhere on Trump's agenda at some point, but yeah, we don't know when, of course. But it is interesting to see the absolute run on it. Seen videos going by that in Australia, I believe people are just in lines to buy physical gold because they don't trust their fiat system anymore. Those types of things also usually indicate a little bit of a top, where like if you start to like 2 years ago you weren't interested in buying physical gold. Why now?
Exactly.
So that indicates a little bit of a potential top, of course. I do think that if I would look towards the gold chart itself, is that there is a lot of potential still to go actually higher than where we are. One of the nice thing with gold is it trades in beautiful market structures. But you can see that some of the sell-offs start to come in, and this is actually quite funny. So normally, if you are just a scalper in gold, you should be glad with 20 pips, for example. And this, don't forget, this is a 5 freaking minute chart. So if you would measure such a move from 8 in the morning all the way till 9 in the morning, that's $100 difference, or at least $99.51. That's massive. That's literally massive. You need billions to actually move a chart like that. That's what I found really interesting to see. Like we can get excited when Bitcoin moves like a couple $1,000, but if this thing moves $2 already, then you know that someone is just pressing with the intern is pressing with billions on the buy button.
The intern again.
So it's an interesting one. I personally think we will go higher still, because we can see here in the chart nice double top. So it means that it has given us opportunity for people to actually start shorting, or at least give some indication to start shorting it. So grab that liquidity again, and just blast your way through. So yeah, I think it's an interesting one. Definitely some shit is going on in the world that's not too positive, because it remains a funny thing. So every time that we have a gold cycle, it takes about 20 years. And usually they go hand in hand with some curve bonds. So let me show you guys that. So this is, for example, the government bond yields on the daily. And what we actually want to see for Bitcoin, so we can see here 2024 we had like rate cuts on the 18th of September. The effect that it had on the chart is quite big. Now with this recent rate cut, you can actually see that it didn't have effect whatsoever. Now, if we would say, let's go towards 2021, so COVID times. So this area right over here was actually where we got into that mega bull run from the crypto industry. So this is something where I actually look at on a regular basis, not on a daily basis, mostly on the weekly or on the monthly, just to see what's the status. Because every time that we actually go up again, that's not good for your crypto. You want to actually go down. You want to go into that risk on range, and that's actually quite funny to see if you check how low that actually was towards 2020. So I think still looking at this chart, how this has moved in combination with gold, in combination with the Magnificent Seven being just overpriced as fuck, that you think like, yeah, so someone is going to get wrecked, some country is going to get nuked. We don't know when or why, but this is a scary one. I think personally, that's the wrong part. I think at some point we should expect something as what we have seen in 2008, whereby you actually just make a complete dump towards the downside, and you can see that recovery period is then actually quite long until you hit into a crypto bull run. So it's an interesting one. I was messing around with this morning to get the Bitcoin price on it too. It fucks up the complete scale of the chart, so I decided to leave it off. But it does indicate with all other assets that something is brewing, something is going to happen. We don't know when, we don't know what it is going to be. You need to put your tinfoil hat on. Go completely Alex Jones with this type of shit.
I was about to say, the 10 in the frogs game.
Yeah, it cannot be crazy enough. It really can't. Like, if it is the case of, but sure, rate cuts are coming. No, not good enough. If you say, the Mexicans will stop making tortillas. No, also not good enough. You need to come up with something that's like absolutely bonkers. So to change this, basically, it's the same like aliens, for example. Like, if we say like, World War III, no one gives a shit. Like, sorry, but like, it's not. It's not spectacular enough. You need something really stupid to happen in the market to actually to get towards that point. Also, if I look towards the towards like everything looks so cooked at the moment. It's absolutely amazing.
At this point, I think the Epstein files won't even move the markets.
No, probably not. But will they be spectacular? That's also the question. I actually seen recently, there was, I don't know if you know this guy, called Tommy G on YouTube.
Yes,
He does like these interviews with like all gangster boys and goes to like ghettos and shit like that. And he had made like recently like an Epstein documentary. And it's actually quite interesting to watch. I will not go too much into detail about that, but there is a lot going on with that and Israel, basically, what makes it quite interesting. So it might be something fun to watch. Also of recent, for example, seen a pretty good documentary about how Trump, for example, has made his billions of recent. And you just need to think like everything in this world is so completely manipulated that as a retailer you need to position yourself in like as wisely as possible. Don't only have dollars, don't only have euros, just diversify as much as possible, because people will lose their houses at some point, not pay the mortgages anymore, because of everything just looking like crap. And what's actually quite interesting also with the S&P, for example, you can see that of recent, the violence has come back into the market. So every time that we see a period where it is actually smooth, is that now on these higher ranges, these massive sell-offs. And usually it's Trump just, or the biggest KOL treating like Donald Pump.
KOL winner of the year, I think.
Yeah, Donald Pump goes, China, and then everything is fucked again for like 4 hours, and then 2 hours later he goes, oh no, sorry, that was a typo. Fucking love that shit. But it keeps
Baron's
the
just
markets
trading away.
alive. It's if I look at just also with the S&P, that I think just how much is there left to go, and you have basically two theories here. So you can say, or everything is overpriced and we need to reset everything. Well, that would basically mean a great excuse to go to actually digitalized fiat, right? Just reset everything. Then the other option is no, it's just natural growth. It is the AI booming and whatever the fuck it all is. And it is normal. And we just keep chugging along for this for the upcoming 5 years. You do not know. But the two scenarios are actually so extreme of for investors, or is it the case that you're going to sell now? But if I look at that scenario of selling now, why the fuck is gold then going up with $1 trillion a day?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to me. But those guys, like the big guys, play it for like, they don't care about like $1 billion more or less. But it is an interesting one. So also Dow Jones completely fucked. Nasdaq completely overcooked. Dow Jones also completely overcooked.
Do you think this will remain overcooked for the rest of Q4? Do you think we're going to see, we're due a sudden drop to kind of get it over and done with soon?
Yeah, I think that's probably somewhere. I have this concept we're playing with in my mind that we're basically seeing towards Q2 2026. So that we have still a little bit of room for everything to play out.
Alt season?
For example. But also like the Magnificent Seven. Like, sorry guys, but Apple, like, what the fuck? It's not that this thing doesn't save lives. It doesn't solve the issue with drinking water around the world. No, it's a freaking tech company that doesn't even build their own shit. All-time high. Microsoft, like, you can see it on everything where you say like Amazon, let's skip that one. Google, let's skip that one. Nvidia, also where you say like, what the hell is going on?
Blows my mind.
And I think that remains an like quite an interesting one in the end, because the only one that actually have had some warning shots of all these stickers has been Tesla. And that was in March, where Tesla have seen quite a big sell-off. And I think that this is basically the chart that will lead the pack of everything on the Magnificent Seven.
Is that your way of saying, out of the Magnificent Seven, you think that Tesla is probably the most overvalued?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it is also it's just like, by now I have been looking at this chart for like the last 2 years ish. Just try to compare it with money flow, when is happening what. If you see public events, who are the people in the room, and it are always the same guys at the same events. Before we went live, we had a little bit of a talk about like the crypto events. But imagine a Magnificent Seven event coming together with your billionaire buddies and say, this is what we're going to do. And someone needs to lead the pack. So I think it's an interesting one. Then to hop on to one also of worry is actually what's going on in the UK. So the UK 100 global indice also just chugging along. We see it in the German market, also the same. Like, everything needs to chill a little bit. But how and when? It's a very good question. So let's take a look at Bitcoin, guys.
Let's do it. Let's have a look at the bad boy.
Are you prepared for a potential crash, or are you just all in crypto, Ross?
No, to be honest with you, since August, I'd been scaling out of a few positions. I'd kind of gone heavy in a few, Borg being one of those. But then I managed to, I was actually cashing out of some alts before the crash, but this wasn't because I was expecting a crash. This was because I was saving up for more alts. I was just very fortunate that I'd kept stables.
Yeah, so you basically made the move with rotation in mind then.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, interesting.
And so yeah, I haven't actually been too affected by the crash. There was say. I wish I'd got rid of a bit more of my say in time. But I'm quite happy. I'm sat on some stables. I've got some alts that I'm looking for, kind of some short-term plays, some mid-cap, some low-caps. That I'll be sharing in the Discord, along with TMG as well. So guys, obviously join the Discord. You get all of those picks there. But yeah, basically I was stacking up some stables for some alts in mind. So I was a little bit fortunate. But yeah, of course, some of my alts have been absolutely white.
It's completely trashed. It's still that I look at my altcoin portfolio and think like, oh, yep, still fucked. Well, it will come back. It's just wild. It's also still funny if you look at basically at the last couple of weeks what has happened with the massive liquidation. It's just a wipe, just a complete wipe from all order books. Exchanges have a clean slate to, for their accountant basically to say like, oh, it's back at zero, you can go again. I think it's an interesting one. Will take a little bit of time before we recover from that again, but we always manage to recover. And another thing, what you will notice, like also if you are affected by a dump like that. It hardens you out a little bit because it happens quite a lot. I think this was now the fifth time this year that we had a move that was actually liquidating all altcoins again. So Bitcoin. Yes, well, I've made a nice, easy-looking chart. We have some support and resistance numbers based on weekly support and resistance. Decided to not go lower in the time frame because the only thing that matters to me at the moment is that we actually hold up the structure. And when I speak about the structure, then what do I mean? We want to stay above this point right here. So what I have seen in the last couple of weeks and how the price has moved, of course, we have had that massive liquidation wick. And then people start buying the dip immediately. And they think they're safe. And this is actually quite interesting. And how this chart is now being built up is that you can see that there is then a period of time where people then actually expect to be safe with their long positions to go back towards like that 121,000. But what is important with these types of moves is that after every big liquidation, you get a liquidation retest, and it basically tests that same area of where the liquidation has been. Now, what we can see is this here is violent, and here we actually have smooth. So you can see here even three nice body closures next to each other. That indicates that there is actually a little bit of strength around that area. If people would not have supported the price, so our big market makers would have said like, no, we're not supporting the price, that means then it's time to basically be a bit scared, because then you actually will head below the $100,000, and that will also probably cause a lot of panic, because 100K doesn't show on the chart that it actually is of importance yet. But for a lot of people, it probably will be mentally quite important to actually stay there. So far, we actually have had a bullish shock on the 4 hour. I have mapped it out right here. That was at $107,530. That shows that there is some strength. Now, the issue is it's actually safer to wait with positions for direction for a BOS. So a break of structure. So the reason for that is a change of character can actually be just a simple liquidity grab to push down lower. So if you want to act on that on the 4 hour, you're probably safe with it. But if you're going to push on that on the 1 minute, then you will probably get fucked. So For now, you can actually see here on the top side, once we got a bearish shock occurring, was at 122,430. After that, we had the BOS at 119,759. And after that, we actually had another one here on the lows at 109,932. So now we finally see that bullish momentum coming along. But also, the issue is that we have a 200 MA in this range, just messing around with, oh, we're losing it, we're gaining it, we're losing it, we're gaining it. So that's something that we still need to look at from time to time. So for now, what is important? The current trading range with major support is at $107,329.30, and the top of that range is $110. So $110,201. So from here, what do we expect? Maybe a potential scenario back towards the upside. If we start closing below that support level, that means that we will go back towards $104,712. So to me, I still think it looks good on all time frames. I do see that it has become a little bit like a trap, where you say like, oh, maybe too early to start shorting or too late to start longing. So it's an interesting one. For me to make a big move on this, I prefer to just sit it out for another week and wait for some decent direction.
Yeah.
So the chances for today.
What's the price of that bottom level there, bro?
Sorry?
What's the price of that bottom level marked out there?
So yeah, we have here 107,349, and we have 104,712. Then we have a bit of a scary scenario at 102. After that, 99,450, and then 96,144. So that is all panic towards the downside. But yeah, like I said, this chart now is actually starting to look a little bit more bullish. So let's stay towards that bullish direction. So at the moment, what is important is we can see a lovely double top high over here. Also a small high over here. If we look towards the downside, well, this part has not been taken yet, so we can expect something where we actually start taking highs out on the top side. But it's an interesting one. It moves just quite odd at the moment on the lower time frames. It's the same if we look towards this price structure here, from $105 all the way up to that 107. You can see that this nice curve, and then all of a sudden it's still below that resistance point. So to imagine the amount of people that will see that resistance point and go, oh, resistance, short it, and then breakout, then you will get stopped out. So it's clearly a setup, in my opinion. That the chart is doing some fun things at the moment. Then Ethereum. I'm still disappointed with Ethereum. I still expect a little bit more. But we have now had a nice reaction to the mid-zone of a nice liquidity pocket. So that's actually quite interesting to see. Downside here is this doesn't show strength whatsoever. Sadly enough. And I think that is, again, a little bit of a setup, because this thing is not done yet. Like, I don't believe it. You're not going to make such a weak all-time high to say like it was literally, oh, $20 difference from the highs. But again, I think it's another setup to give people the feeling of it's over, pack your bags and go home, and then start again like last time where we said like, if it starts moving, you will not get the chance to get in. And I think that's actually again going on. So yeah, with this, what do we need to gain? 3,985 is the level that we want to start gaining. Then we can go towards 4,286. Then we have also a nice little market structure on the top of that. So that is somewhere where I want to basically end up with this entire structure. For now, it's looking at how this 4 hour is going to react, because I do think we probably are, the likelihood of going up is quite high. Now, what makes this week so complicated? Because normally we can say quite some smart things about the markets. And this is what makes it complicated. So we have had the US shutdown, of course, the government shutdown, with the result that not a whole lot of numbers of data has come out. And we can see here, basically here you can see the currency effect on the market. So this is from Forex Factory, where you can see all news coming out about the markets.
And red indicates that it's more serious. We'll have a high.
Red is a high impact. Yes. Now again, if you're trading oil, for example, and you see something like something related with oil, then here, for example, if you're trading gas, and you see like, oh, but natural gas storage is a low impact expected, but you're trading that asset, still be careful with it.
Yes.
But this list has been empty for quite some time now, with just the Europeans going along and name it. And now we see basically here the Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, and now we go into the Friday. So Friday will be a complete shit show over all financial markets. And this is also what is, I think, lining up with everything that's going on in the recent weeks. Is government shutdowns have the effect that the markets actually end up higher after when the shutdown is over than before. So it is purely a manipulated play. So on Friday, we have some news from Europe. So for the guys that are trading the DAX and the German 30, German 40, be aware it's going to get violent in the morning. Then we have the UK coming out with PMI data. That will impact the London session in gold quite a bit. And again, if we make a move of $100 on gold, that will affect the rest of the market. Then in the afternoon, we have the US government coming out of their beds and start working again.
So Friday's not looking too great. That's Friday the 24th, right?
Yes. So Friday we have the CPI data coming out, and it will be a heavy one. So year to year. I probably will just take Friday off, to be honest. So celebrate the weekend. But yeah, at least be aware of that can be quite intense. Let me think. What else do we have, Ross? Let's talk about Borg. Hey.
Yes, let's have a look. I was just going to have a look at Polymarket in the background as well, see if there's any interesting. We got the Fed decision in October. I can share my screen quickly. I was going to talk about some NFTs as well, but we'll talk about Borg quickly as well. So yeah, it's looking like it will be a 25 BPS decrease here. 96%. Oh, I'm sharing the wrong one. Needed to add this. Here we go. There you go. Over on Polymarkets.
I still need to start playing with that stuff. It looks so fun.
You got New York City mayor election. Will any Louvre heist robbers be arrested? This is quite interesting. This is completely off topic here. October 31st. No, I would hazard a no on this one. I think they might get away with it. December 31st, 53%. That one might be a yes.
Will Trump pardon Diddy by Friday?
3% chance.
Oh, by the way, look at Bitcoin go in the meantime, by the way.
Ooh, I'll pull over to your chart quick.
I think we're taking off here.
Blast off.
There we go.
Let us know what you're trading in the chat as well, guys. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, we're heading straight to that upper limit.
Yes, so we want to get towards this point right here. 109,461.
Very good.
I shouldn't have taken profits on my trade. I should have just let it open.
Let it run. It's
Oh
always
well.
profits, though.
Live to trade another day, right?
Profit
But
is
do you
profit.
think that Trump will pardon Diddy on Friday? Or?
Oh, I'm one of those 3%, so I'm in for a big payday.
For a big payday.
Yeah. I was just going to pull up before we talk about Borg as well. Was going to talk about Nomu as well, guys. So if you're in the CSE Discord or in the Chippy community, we gave away 10 whitelist spots each. That's 20, and each one of those whitelist spots could have taken 5 as well. So that's 100 NFTs that we gave out. And at the time, it was around 1 Solana mint price. I think it was about 165, 185 in dollars. And now, the floor price is 3.5. So absolutely killed it. I think the other day the floor price was above 4 Solana here as well. So hats off if you guys got in on that, especially if you scooped up 5. I was lucky enough to scoop up 15. So I've done well. I've still hung on to a good amount of these because there's going to be some really cool passive income coming in the future as well, guys. But I think NFTs are back as well. If we look at Magic Eden in general, we can see that volumes are generally up. If I have a quick look, or if I pull this down, we'll be able to see volumes. This is on the daily. If we look at the 7-day, let's have a look at volume. So 3.49k sell volume there, 2 points, and this D gods. If we look at Ethereum as well, let's pull that over. Pudgy Penguin's doing well. Floor slightly down in 7 days though. Chimpers, and then some that you recognize: Miladies, Mutant Apes, Bored Apes. I think some of the ETH ones are slightly dead, except Pudgy Penguins. And No Moonbirds are doing quite well as well. Solana, Mad Lads, always good. D Gods, these were, I think D Gods at one point the floor price was like 700. So absolutely crazy to see where these have come down to. Wouldn't be buying D Gods. S&B, always a good one. Let me know if you got any NFTs in the chat, guys. I think there is going to be a nice little revival, but we're going to see more utility rather than just being able to get into parties, which was like the 2021 NFT craze.
It was always like buy this NFT and you get invited to.
No one cares.
No one cares.
I think using NFTs for like passive income and community aspects still, in a sense.
Yep.
I think that will be the meta, and it's less volatile. There is mechanisms like instant sell now, so it always creates a kind of liquidity pool to sell your NFTs. Although the price is always a lot lower on those, so it's still not very liquid.
For me, it's still such a weird part of the crypto industry. With NFTs, I think or it is just because I don't fully understand it, or I just got put off by the 2021 hype around them. So I was like, "Fuck no, I'm not paying $100,000 for freaking JPEG." But yeah, maybe I need to.
It was crazy the amount that they could raise.
I do still hold some, but they are all Bybit NFTs.
Okay, yeah.
So I think they're still up for sale. Put them up for sale for ridiculous prices, so I can hope that someone picks them up. So if someone wants an overpriced NFT, hit the DM. All right, so Borg, absolutely star of the show still. This is again where we can say the advantage of not having perps or futures in your chart, because even with a sell-off like we have seen on the crypto market last week, yes, it does affect the price, but as you can see, it also gets supported quite fast. After that, you get into some panic mode, what's absolutely normal. But this thing is holding up very well. So on the daily, still looking quite healthy. also still don't think that it is done. It had just a bit of an unlucky charm with the rest of the crypto market, really. What's quite nice at the moment is that beautiful point of interest on the support line. Support also has been bought up, what is actually quite important to see, because that still means that, well, as long as you cannot short the fuck out of this thing, that basically means there's only one direction, and that's the likelihood of going up is quite high. No financial advice, of course. So what is important here to start gaining towards 53 cents? The clear nice resistance, we actually have reached that in the weekend, where we went from the support line towards the resistance line. So if you are a spot trader, for example, that you just buy at support and sell at resistance, this is then a chart where I look at and go like, it respects what you want it to do. With buying at support and selling at resistance. I think it's also liquid enough to actually do that. Create some volume, of course. So we need to break that 53 cents. After that, there is a nice, also again, like a little bit of a point of interest here. What is actually quite interesting is that it has created a decent amount of a fair value gap on both ends. So don't know exactly how this structure has been made. If someone knows it in the comments, let me know, because what I don't fully understand is that we have a vector towards the downside and a vector candle towards the upside. But that does show that around that area, or someone is buying and selling to get the price towards that area. So that is 58 cents after gaining that momentum back. So that means basically where we look at the scenario where we start working our way through our levels again is towards 67 cents. From that point on, what we actually want to do is just eat up the highs. So instead of looking at from support and resistance, you also can say, where's my tool here? Boom. We have a high here at 53.911. We have a high here at 55.980. And then we have a high over here at 60 cents. And you can see it actually lines up quite a bit with the support and the resistance, except for this one middle stage here. But those are the highs that we just want to get, just to tap them out of the market. The likelihood that you will just tap them out and it retraces a little bit, and then tap them out, retraces a little bit, and go towards the resistance, maybe fall back, tap them out, and just work your way up towards that chart. So far, like I said, I'm just impressed with how the chart has been forming over the recent weeks. I think as soon as we start hitting that that plus 53 level, then I probably want to take a look a little bit closer towards the price action that has happened in this range. Because it is quite panicky on the weekly. And I don't, it's like November 2021. Don't know exactly what was going on at that moment in time. But it does show that if we zoom in towards that price action,
all-time high for Bitcoin around.
I think it's just you can see how volatile it has become. So the question is, how many orders are still in that area? So we're going to find it out once the price hits above 55 cents. Then we're going to map that part out. So looks quite strong in my opinion.
I'll hold my hands up. I did actually take some profit around the 60 cents level. And perhaps I'll have another flutter. I've still got a decent bag of Borg, obviously, and still really pushing them, and I think bullish on the ecosystem. But like a lot of people right now, a little bit hesitant, quite happy with having a bag of stables.
Yeah, I will be honest, I have the same. I'm just like, I do want to. The other day, I was looking at my wallet and I was like, I can send some in, but what am I going to buy? That's step number one. And also number two is like especially with what I do is I trade. So I don't need to have a specific project to put that capital towards. So at the moment I'm a little bit in in the form of, am I going to actually invest in this project for a long period of time in actually not that great of a market, or do I just keep it in the wallet and just trade with it a little bit and compound it that way? Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I think that a lot of people have the same probably, where they go like, yeah, we want to buy some, but what will it be? Yeah. I have here the final one of today, and that's Solana.
Woo, let's go.
Might be a nice one to close the day with, or the stream with.
So where are we at the moment with Solana?
So we're at $185.55, 56 cents. So yeah, this is an interesting one again. So what we have seen after the biggest liquidation is a nice little retest. Now we also have now a very nice reaction to this, towards this liquidity zone, and that was $183.58. So you can see this is all quite fresh. So people are still licking their wounds from this. What we want to see is actually a break above $190.83. From that point on, the road will be so smooth and so easy. So then you can go towards $208.16. And after that, it's just a very smooth way, because we can see that there is a huge imbalance in this entire area towards 228. Now, if we then would want to look towards the downside, we can clearly see that there is no imbalance here. The imbalance is placed over there. So to count my cards and say like likelihood of going up is, in my opinion, way higher than to actually start rejecting the absolute hell out of this and start closing in voids that are actually not there. So for me, I'm actually quite bullish on Solana. I'm actually long on Solana. So yeah.
Like Team G is actually currently long on Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana over in the Discord as well. Just seeing him put that earlier today.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, it's what are you guys looking into buying properties? I'm looking to buy up your place, sir. Mr. Hugo in the chat.
Gonna move in with you, Hugo. But yeah, guys, we'll wrap that up here for today. Just wanted to touch, the Discord is absolutely flying right now. We've had so many new members. I think we've had, we did the numbers today. I think it was like 26 new members already this month. So it's absolutely flying. TMG is super active in there. He's posting, every few hours his trades, when he's getting into the trades, when he's exiting, and obviously he's doing his challenge. If I have a quick look at his challenge as well, we'll see where we're at with that. I think it was on like 16K or 13K. So he already made a good stab at that. Let's have a look. 13,000 was yesterday, 13,400. And he's up on his longs right now as well. So we'll be seeing how that goes. So come join the Discord. There is a code 50% off. It's 50 off. You'll see it in the link below. Also, if you want to trade on BLOFIN, we have the highest level of VIP for you. So you'll get charged least fees, non-KYC, and also use Kast Card, guys. I've only had 6 referrals off the Kast Card, and I've been using it for a few months now, and I've already accrued over $1,000 in points just from day-to-day spending. Super useful, not FCA approved. You can have it on Apple Pay, and you can have the actual debit card as well. You can top it up with USDC, USDT, for pretty much all chains as well. So super handy. Block Pro, really appreciate your takes today and the technical analysis that we've gone through. We will be having a stream again next Tuesday. If you join the Discord as well, Block Pro will be going live later this afternoon as well, today and tomorrow. And tomorrow we have Hugo, who's in the chat just here. He'll be going live from the CSC account nice and early as you guys are going to work or as you guys are waking up. So make sure to catch up with that. And we will see you all in the Discord. Take care.
Sounds good. Have a nice day.
Woo! Let's go.